Welcome to Actor and Actress Spotlight. It's Entertainment Talks podcast for looking at different actors and actresses in the world of entertainment. I'm your host Matthew. This is episode 8. The previous episode was for Jim Carrey. And of course we've done 7 other... Actually we've done more than 7 because sometimes we did double double choice of people in the previous episodes. But today for the 8th episode of the Actor or Actress Spotlight podcast, I'm going to be talking about John Boyega. He won the vote on Twitter. I did put that out, and the options, if I remember them myself, Chris Pratt, John Boyega, Millie Bobby Brown, and I think I put Kristen Bell in there as well. But John Boyega won the vote. Chris Pratt was the only other person that got a vote as well. I'm going to be using that in the future as well, picking 4 different... I'll try and pick 2 actresses and 2 actors as well to kind of make it even and whatnot. But John Boyega, let's get into a bit of information about him. He was born on the 17th of March 1992, so he's 28 years old, which is only 2 years older than me, so that's interesting. Was born in Peckham, London, which is... I live in London as well, so that's fairly close to me. Height 1.75 meters. Not that that's particularly relevant, but TV shows. It's got. I'll get more into his TV shows and films that he's been in, but I'll just quickly read the ones listed here. You've got Small Axe, Watership Down, Star Wars: Forces of Destiny, the shorts, and then there's more. His parents, Samson and Abigail. Education, he went to South Thames College and then Westminster City School, and then they're listed as more there. So there's just a bit of basic information about him. Doesn't have a spouse or a partner listed, so I don't know if he's single, I suppose then. I don't know if you have to be like married to have that registered on Google, because that's what I'm looking up, because he could have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And it might just not be listed here. So there's a bit of basic information about John Boyega himself. Let's get into, just my opinion on him, I suppose, as well, which is what I'm here to talk about. And then I'll get into, of course, his TV and film career itself. I think John Boyega's a great actor. I remember the first time I saw him, I think, was in Attack the Block, which was in 2011, so almost 10 years ago. And it's interesting the way his career has gone, because I remember at the time, I think there's a certain part in the film where he holds a sword and he's cutting the enemies. I can't remember what they are. The film was 9 years ago and I haven't seen it since. And he was cutting them and he was jumping through and it was all kind of slow motion and cool and stuff. And I remember everyone saying at the time, hey, this guy could be a good Jedi, lightsabers and all that. And then several years later, in 2017, wasn't it? It's only got 2 Star Wars films listed here for some reason. I think it was in 2017, the Force Awakens. He is given a lightsaber, so I guess that came true, which was great as well. We'll talk about the troubled history between him, Disney and Star Wars in a little bit, I suppose. But that was a good way to kind of kick his career off, at least for me. That was the first film I remember kind of seeing him in, and I just remember at the time everyone was like, oh, he could be a really good Jedi, and then he ended up in the new Star Wars trilogy, which, yes, I know a lot of people really didn't like. A lot of people hated. Some people really liked. Some people loved them. I liked them. I thought they were fairly good films. But that's a bit of a different discussion for a different time. We do need to possibly rank the Star Wars films at some point, but I think David needs to be involved in that as well. But yeah, I think he's a great actor. I'm looking forward to the future of his career, and I suppose I should get into it now, actually. It doesn't really look like his future is going to be with Star Wars or with Disney necessarily, because I remember when I think it got started when, well, there's been a lot of comments released from him about just the whole treatment around him and some other things that happened with this new trilogy. Now, one of the first things I remember is, I think the Star Wars, I can't remember for which film it was. I think it was for the third one, which is Rise of Skywalker. It was either for that one or maybe the second one, Last Jedi. And for the Chinese, or the poster for China that was released for the, to promote Star Wars, not that you really need to promote Star Wars, but nonetheless, people still need to know when it's coming out and whatever. And his character was like pushed to the side a little bit for the poster. Now I've taken a glance at the poster itself, and he was kind of moved to the side a little bit. Now, when you've got the new trilogy that focuses on Rey, I think is it Poe, played by that was Oscar Isaac, wasn't it? Yeah, the guy who's just been cast as Moon Knight. Yeah, and then of course Daisy Ridley as Rey herself, John Boyega as Finn, and then Oscar Isaac as Poe, the Poe Dameron, wasn't it? I think the pilot, the new pilot and stuff. Those need to be your three front runner characters, and he was pushed to the side a little bit for the poster, and that wasn't very nice, of course. So that was kind of the start of things. Now there's two other things that happened as well involving with him and Star Wars. One of the things that was said was, again, I think this was for the third film, that some of his story, I think it was his and Rose's story, got like cut short, or some of it got cut out a little bit, or like a large portion of it. It got changed in some way, shape or form. And I remember him saying about, he was upset with that, and that wasn't particularly great. So that just kind of continued the train of that as well. I still maintain, and I haven't had an answer given to me about this, why you have J.J. Abrams doing Episode 7, Rian Johnson doing the middle of a trilogy with Episode 8, and then you go back to J.J. Abrams for Episode 9. It just, I mean, I don't know too much still about Rian Johnson. He did that Knives Out film. Yeah, that was this year, wasn't it? Or was that last year? No, that was last year, and yeah, it was on my best of 2019 list. I don't know particularly too much about Rian Johnson, but why I still haven't found out an answer as to why that was changed. Now, my guess is that was one of the reasons that, to say, things didn't really work out so much with this new trilogy of Star Wars, which makes sense to me, because if you're gonna do a trilogy of films, you need to really have the same director for all three, and especially for the middle of the story. And a bunch of stuff was changed, and JJ just had kind of an impossible task to please everybody with Episode 9. I mean, that was never going to happen anyway. But yeah, why you have a different person directing the middle film, or any of the three films, doesn't matter if it's the first, second, or third. I suppose the middle's a big impact, the middle part of your story. So yeah, that makes sense as to why that was sort of cut short or changed, and I sympathise with both John Boyega and the actress that played, I think it was Rose, the other character that got her story changed, or sort of cut short or whatever. So that made sense as well. And then the other comment that was made by him is, I think this was when the third film had kind of come and gone. I think it maybe late last year, early this year, because it came out in December, didn't it? Rise of Skywalker. And he was like, I don't really want to be in any of this Disney Plus Star Wars stuff. I think Daisy Ridley said something similar as well. I don't know what Oscar Isaac said about portraying Poe again, but he's going to be Moon Knight on Disney Plus anyway, which is kind of cool. But yeah, him just sort of, it didn't go very well for him, this whole Star Wars trilogy thing, and I sympathise with him. He got pushed to the side, but both in the story, again, I think due to I don't know if that's a Disney thing, it could be, but due to the change in directors, and probably some mistakes from Disney there as well, about him having a story change, and then him being pushed to the side on the poster for China. And China's a huge market for films as well. I remember when Toy Story 4 came out last year, and it was floating around 900 million, and then it got a slightly later release in China, and then it just pushed immediately past $1 billion, which was great as well. But yeah, that's a very, very big audience for films in China, and for the poster for that, and his the character that he personally played and everything's getting pushed to the side. It all makes sense to me. The reasons why he would just be like, okay, you know what, I did this trilogy, it didn't go great for me, I was pushed to the side, my character had his story kind of changed and whatnot, and like, yeah, this Disney Plus opportunity, there's a big future there. It's got 60 million subscribers or whatever for Disney Plus, but he just kind of wants to move on, and I totally get that. So that makes sense and everything. And I kind of feel a little bit. I mean, he was in Star Wars. That was great as well, but it just didn't quite go the way that it should have, which I think is a bit of a disappointment for him as well. So totally makes sense. But yeah, in the future, I think he could play. I wonder, because he's obviously upset with Disney themselves, because they're the overlord of this whole thing. They are the ones in charge of Star Wars, and I don't know how much control Disney had over that Chinese, or over the China poster or whatever. They certainly would have had control over who directs the middle of the trilogy, because they own the damn franchise. I do wonder if Disney approached him now and said, okay, could you play a Marvel? Like one of the I don't know which X-Men, but one of the X-Men or one of the Fantastic Four, or someone like that. I'm just thinking of future potential characters. He could have even played a young Blade, maybe. But of course we got Mahershala Ali doing that at some point in the future. I do just wonder though. There's a few opportunities there, and there's going to be a lot of Disney Plus series that are coming out. For Marvel. I wonder if he would go back to Disney but to do Marvel stuff instead, because fair enough, you're done with Star Wars, you did the 3 films anyway, his story was concluded, so there's not like there's a ton more for him to do anyway. But I do wonder if he'd be up for that, or maybe even like, would he do voice acting for Disney or Pixar films, or something else, or be in like one of the live action remakes, maybe. Would he do something like that? I just kind of wonder where he's at in terms of working with Disney again, because if you want to work on something Star Wars, Marvel, Fox, or any of the multiple franchises that Disney owns, you're going to be working with them as well as the separate franchise itself. So we shall see. But let's get a bit more into. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the whole Star Wars saga, I suppose. As well, let's go to his filmography. There it is. That's the one that I was looking for. Attack the Block, which I mentioned, and then I'm just going to list the films that I have and haven't seen him in that he's in. So Junk Hearts, haven't seen him in that. That is also a 2011 film. 2013, Half of a Yellow Sun. Haven't seen that. Imperial Dreams, 2014. 2015, Star Wars The Force. Wow, was that 2015? Wow, I thought it was 2017 and then... No, it wouldn't have been 2017, 18 and then 19. 2017 must have been when Last Jedi was released, because I think it wasn't there 2 years between each film, and then of course you had Rogue One and you had Solo, and you had those were the 2 sort of in between films, weren't they? But yeah, Star Wars Force Awakens, of course, I just talked about his whole Star Wars thing. I can't believe that was in 2015. The Circle as well. I have seen a film called The Circle, which is on Netflix. I don't think that's the same one though. That's a 2017 film. Detroit, which I heard some good things about. Haven't seen that. So there's that as well. And then you've got Last Jedi 2017. So yeah, 2015, 17, and then 19. So yeah, it must have had Rogue One and Solo in between those 2. Just talked about his Star Wars stuff, obviously. So Circle, Detroit, Star Wars Last Jedi, and then Pacific Rim Uprising, which I think Robert did a review of last year, one of his random rental reviews that he does and stuff. Pacific Rim, that's so Pacific Rim. That's not really. I mean, Transformers for me killed my interest in sort of mechs, the big mechanical robots, and any of them sort of things like Transformers and all the other ones that are out there. Pacific Rim kind of has that as well. I just don't care for big robots beating each other up. Especially with, I can't remember which one was the last one that I watched with Transformers, but it was just like 2 hours of explosions and stuff. Explosions and stuff. That's my very mini review of whatever was the last Transformers film that I watched. It was, I think it was the first Mark Wahlberg one, because they changed both of the actors, didn't they? They took Megan Fox out, and they took I can't remember the main guy's I can't remember his name. The main actor begins with S, doesn't it? Is his name? They took both of them out, and then they put I can't remember the actress that they put in. But they put her in, and then they put Mark Wahlberg in. I think I watched one of them, and then I just stopped. But anyway, Pacific Rim Uprising. I think that's not sure if that's the first one or the sequel, but I think that there might be two of those. Again, that could be a good film. Robert did tell me some good stuff about it. I obviously read the review that he did, because I edited it and then put it together on the website. Might be a good film. I just don't care for big robots beating each other up, whatever the particular context. I'm not even really a fan of things like the Hulkbuster armor. I don't know, it's just, yeah, I don't know, that sort of big destruction storytelling is just, it's a bit boring to me. But anyway, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker was 2019 as well, and in Naked Singularity 2020, I don't know if that's actually come out. It says it's in post-production. So, yeah, his character name is to be announced, so I don't know anything about that.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Holman, host of Eye to Eye, a weekly podcast talk show all about passion.
I have this passion and this fire within me that burns brighter than the fire around me.
Flow.
With performing, there's always a story to tell, whether it's my own or not.
And creativity.
I go, he's more than cute, he's creative.
All with an LGBT twist. Make sure to check out Eye to Eye, that's EYE, number 2, letter I. And rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in today.
I'm Christy.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are Killer Fun. We explore the intersection of crime and entertainment every other week.
For as long as people have been communicating, they have been talking about who did what to whom, and is that socially acceptable?
Because the boundaries of society,
crime,
and entertainment have always gone hand in hand.
The more salacious,
or weird,
the better. From books and movies
to television shows and games,
we look at how life and art imitate and inform one another.
And we can't get together and not laugh. So let's face it, there's going to be laughing.
Killer Fun is available anywhere you listen to podcasts, so join us.
If you'd like to get started with a domain name and a website today, just click on the link in the show notes and that will take you over to Kualu to get started. They also have a live support chat system that you can use, which is in the bottom right hand corner. So get started with a new website and domain name today with Kualu. Hey everybody, if you would like to get the ad-free versions of all of our podcasts and support Entertainment Talk along the way, all you need to do is head over to patreon.com/entertainment talk. Sign up either as a creator or as a Patreon, there's no difference there. That's just the option for either becoming a creator now or just staying as a patron for the moment. And then all you need to do is support us at the $1 level tier. That will get you access to all of the ad-free podcasts that we've done in the past, and get you access to all the ad-free podcasts in that month as well. So it's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also become a patron at the $3 level tier. That gets you access to ad-free podcasts and allows you to redeem a review of a TV show or a film of entirely your choice. That's one per month for either a TV show or a film review, which is at the $3 level tier. As always, thank you very much for listening. Back to the show. Alright, let's move on to television. You've got, 2011, so rewinding a little bit, The Brick, where he played the role of Donnie in the pilot. Becoming Human, he was in 4 episodes of 2011. He was in Law & Order UK, I didn't know that, played as someone called Jamal, episode called Survivor's Guilt. My Murderer 2012. The Whale, 2013, played as William. He was in 24 Live Another Day. Was he? Well, I guess he was. Bill Mook, just Bill Mook, it's got listed. 10 episodes as The Voice. I'm going to have to go and look up a clip of that because I can't remember. Gosh, that was in 2014. I haven't seen Jack Bauer on my screen for 6 years. That's painful. But yeah, 2014, 24 Live Another Day. Oh no, sorry, I read the wrong thing. Chris Tanner for 4 episodes. I was reading the next thing, which is Major Lazer as Bill Mook for The Voice. So yeah, 24 Live Another Day, Chris Tanner for 4 episodes. I don't remember John Boyega in 24 at all. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up and see what that character was about. 2015 Saturday Night Live as himself, a segment from Star Wars The Force Awakens screen tests. Of course, that's kind of a skit show, so you got that as well. Tinker, Shrimp, and Dutch voice for 5 episodes. Star Wars Forces of Destiny, which is on Disney Plus, not a Disney Plus show, but it is on Disney Plus, I think. As Finn for 2 episodes. Watership Down, Bigwig for the voice for 4 episodes. Serengeti as the narrator for a documentary series, and then Small Axe, Leroy Logan, which is a mini-series in post-production as well. And then he's done a bunch of stage acting for Othello and Wojciech for 2010 and 2017. 2017, excuse me. And then video games, Star Wars stuff, theme park attractions, Star Wars stuff. So on the Star Wars theme parks attractions, 2015 Star Tours, The Adventures Continue. Finn, scene added for seasonal Season of the Force promotion, whatever that is. 2019, The Rise of Resistance at Hollywood Studios. And then it's just got Disneyland for 2020 because that thing is still there. So yeah, his time with Disney and Star Wars may be over. But we will see what he does in the future. I'd like to see him, I don't know, what would I like to see him do next? Yeah, I mean, he's very, very good at action, you know, in Attack the Block, where I first saw him, in everything that he did in Star Wars, with all the action scenes there. He did a very good job. He could have been quite a good young Blade, couldn't he? But I guess that role has been taken. Hey, who knows, maybe if the, once they do the story with Blade, whatever they're going to do, maybe at some point in the future, I mean, he'll be a lot older by that point. I was going to say, if there's a Marvel reboot in the future, which we're going to be very, very far away from, he could do a young version of Blade. That would be so fitting for him, wouldn't it? So that's it's a bit of a missed opportunity there, but Mahershala Ali is going to do a very, very good job there as well. So but yeah, something action related, not in a mech suit. I don't particularly care too much for that. But he's got my support going forward. He's a very, very good young actor. He's only 2 years older than me. And be very exciting to see what he does next with his career. But what do you think of John Boyega? What do you think of the whole, literally the Star Wars saga with the China poster and his character having his story cut down and him not wanting to be involved with Disney Plus series and all that sort of thing? Let me know what you think of everything I've mentioned for John Boyega. What do you think of mech storytelling and the Pacific Rim Uprising and Transformers and everything else that I've mentioned in this podcast as well? Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org. Twitter eTalkUK, there's a contact page and information in your show notes as well. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you have heard today and you want to support more of it, you can find everything else that we do on entertainmenttalk.org. If you want to support the podcast as well, of course you can listen to other podcasts that we've got on the website and on the iTunes feeds. But there's other options available as well. Patreon, we are on there, the $1 and $3 level tiers for instant ad-free podcast and review options. Amazon affiliate link if you're buying stuff on Amazon, maybe that Christmas shopping, which I'm going to start with some point soon as well. Either for that or treating yourself or both, whatever the occasion may be. We can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you extra on the Amazon affiliate link. iTunes feeds and podcast services, if you search for Entertainment Talk on those and get subscribed to us. If we're not on your favourite podcast platform or your one of choice, please let us know and we'll look into that. David runs Geektown. You can of course find that if you go to geektown.co.uk, and if you look for Geektown on podcast services, get yourself subscribed to that as well for your up-to-date, reliable TV and film news. Geektown radio episodes on Tuesdays. There should be a new episode available later today, so have a look out for that as well. Bex is streaming daily at the moment, over on Twitch. If you search for Trista Bytes, Trista Bytes on Twitch, go and follow her on there for daily streams of gaming and fun chatter and all sorts of other cool stuff as well, and that sort of thing. Word of mouth, you can simply tell people that you know about Entertainment Talk, Trista Bytes and Geektown. Social media, you can do the same thing, share them on Facebook and Twitter, and if you can, in different Facebook groups. And of course, look out for Let's Play Sunday episodes on Sundays. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.